Welcome to Line East Podcast. Today we're going to talk about a common question people are faced with when it's time to change their car. And that is, should I lease or finance a car? Should I get a new car or should I get a pre-owned car? And that's a valid question to ask because most people, they want to save money and no one wants to lose money or do something that's going to cost them extra down the road when it's time to return the lease or have to trade the car in. My name is Frank, and with 20 years of experience in automotive industry, I'm here to share my opinion about this. Hopefully, I will help some of you watching or listening to this podcast right now. I think I've seen a lot of different scenarios that will help me to explain this to you guys the best way possible. I don't think there's one answer that will fit everyone. I'm going to do my best to answer this and make it easy for you guys to decide. The best way to go about this is to compare one and look at the pros and cons. When you get a new car, obviously you get a new car smell. You get to choose the color of the car, options, features. You get the latest technology in the car. You get a car that comes with 3 to 4 years of warranty. You also have the option to lease, finance, or pay cash for the car. But one thing to consider when you're getting a new car, especially if you're paying cash or financing a new car, is the depreciation. When you drive that car off the lot, you lose anywhere from 10 to 15% of the value of the car. Now let's talk about pre-owned cars. When you get a pre-owned car, the only pro that I can think of is the value. You get a pre-owned car because you're trying to save money and you don't want to be faced with that depreciation that happens when you drive the new car off the lot. So when you get a pre-owned car, you save money and the better value you get out of it. But there are cons. And number one is warranty. When you get a pre-owned car, depending on how old the car is, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 years, you have to check to see how much of warranty is left on the car. I don't suggest anybody purchase a pre-owned car without warranty. You do not want to drive around without any warranty. That's why I recommend, if you're looking to get a pre-owned car, look into getting a certified pre-owned car. There's a huge difference with certified and non-certified cars. The dealership and the manufacturer stands behind that car. When it's certified, typically, if you're financing a certified car, they qualify for lower interest rate, which are backed by the manufacturer. So always, I highly recommend you look into certified cars. Let's say you at a Mercedes dealership and you're looking at a pre-owned car parked next to a certified car. One of the main reasons why that pre-owned car did not qualify and is not a certified car is because that dealership couldn't certify the car. That car did not qualify to be certified for many different reasons. It could be because a previous accident, it could be because there's something wrong with the frame of the car. It could be something about the cost of fixing and bringing it up to the codes and requirements of that dealership to make it a certified car. A lot of different reasons why that car is not certified. So I highly recommend, if you're looking at getting a pre-owned car, look into getting a certified car. You get the additional warranty. I don't recommend purchasing a pre-owned car that doesn't come with warranty or is not certified. But if you have to, because of the money situation, let's say because of a budget you have, because of whatever the scenario may be, I highly recommend have that car checked and inspected by the proper mechanic. I cannot stress this enough. I've seen so many different horrible stories that you do not want to buy a pre-owned car without having the car inspected by a certified technician. So if you buy a Mercedes, you take it to a Mercedes shop. If you're buying a Toyota, you take it to a Toyota shop. If you're buying Jaguar, you take it to a Jaguar. You get my point. You want to have that car inspected, pay the additional money. Never ever rely on the dealership telling you or the salesperson telling you, oh yes, this car has been checked. Oh yeah, we inspect the cars. No, they don't. They don't. Do not listen to them. And I'm sorry to say this. I've seen too many horror stories. Not every dealership is the same. Yes, some dealers do check it, but not all dealerships inspect their used cars the way they're supposed to. So the rules on selling a pre-owned car, at least in California, I'll tell you this much. The car needs to pass safety and smog. The car needs to be drivable. That dealership will sell it. And it's not the same as buying a certified car. So have the car inspected, spend the additional money, and you will thank yourself later. Now let's talk about leasing versus financing a car. When it's a new car, leasing always is my number one suggestion. When you lease a car, think of it as you renting it with the option to purchase it. And I explain. As I mentioned earlier, when you drive off a brand new car off the lot, you will lose 10 to 15% minimum of the value of the car. And when you buy or finance a new car, you have to pay a sales tax based on the full price that you agreed upon with the dealership. So if you guys negotiated on $50,000, you're going to pay taxes based on $50,000. But when you lease a car, let's say for the sake of this example, the residual percentage for the lease is 50%. So when it's 50%, your payments are calculated based on 50% of the sale price. So let's say the price of the car is $50,000. Your payments are calculated based on 50%, which is $25,000 of that amount, and then plus interest, and then plus tax. So you save, and in most cases, the payments are less when you lease a car compared to financing a car. So keep that in mind. But you should also know when you lease a car, you have to determine the mileage you're going to drive. Most leases have options of 10,000, 12,000, and 15,000. Some manufacturers offer 7,500 miles, and some high-end ones, they even offer 5,000 miles. So you have to see how many miles you're going to drive. Based on the mileage allowance, which is determined at the beginning of the lease, they calculate your payments. Let's say you did a lease of 10,000 miles per year and your lease is 3 years. You're allowed to drive 30,000 miles. If you go over your mileage, you will get penalized. Typically, it's about 25 cents plus tax. So each mile over 30,000 miles, you will get charged 25 cents plus tax, which you have to pay that if you return the car at the end of the lease. Now, if you end up buying your own car, let's say you keep the car for almost 3 years, lease is coming to an end, but you're like, this is a great car. I love it so much. I think I'm going to drive another 2 or 3 years. You can purchase the car. The value of your car was determined at the beginning of your lease, that residual percentage. You can call the manufacturer, finance department, or the bank that you lease your car where you make payments, and tell them that you want to buy the car, and you will buy the car, and you do not have to worry about the additional mileage that you drove that you were not allowed to drive. Also, you should know when you lease a car, when it's time to return the car needs to come back in the same condition as you picked it up the first day. That means you cannot return the car damaged, scratched wheels, bumpers are scratched up, the door is dinged, you were in an accident, you didn't fix it. They will charge you for everything. In most scenarios, right before your lease is up, you could do a pre-inspection. So they would tell you if there are any damages or anything that will cause you getting penalized, and they will send you a bill later after you return your lease. So you have time to fix those things before you return your car. Another thing with leases is the customization. When you lease a car, you cannot go ahead and take out the wheels and put aftermarket wheels on the car. I mean, you can, but you have to keep the original wheels. So when it's time to return the car, you swap the wheels and you give the car back with the original wheels. You cannot give them back with the aftermarket wheels. If you end up wrapping the car different color, however else you like to customize cars these days, they will charge you if the car is not in the same condition. So keep that in mind. If you would have purchased the car, you don't have to obviously worry about any of this. You could customize it however you want. You can drive it as many miles as you want. There's no penalties, then you're not going to get charged for anything. Let's talk about financing. When you finance a new car, typically there are offers anywhere from 0%, 1%, 2%, 3%. A lot of times there are financing offers that you could take advantage of. Make sure you always check the manufacturer website to see if there's any deals. And this is almost always the case with certified pre-owns. But when it comes to a used car, a car that is not certified, typically there are no incentives as far as financing or low interest rates. So you have to check with your own bank. I typically recommend people go to the nearest credit union, wherever they live, and check with them to see what the rates are that they're offering. If you do go to a car dealership, this is how a dealership works when it comes to financing. When you go to a car dealership and you say, okay, I'm here to purchase a car, I want to get a loan. What they do is they take your credit report and they call it shotgun. They shotgun it to anywhere they think they can get you finance. And then based on all the approvals they have, let's say they have 3-4 approvals, they're going to look at the approval that is in their own benefit, not to your benefit. So that's something you need to keep in mind. And based on that, a lot of times, those banks allow the car dealership to raise the interest rate, as long as you're okay with the payment, by 1 to 2 points. So let's say you got approved for 6%. The dealership can raise that interest rate all the way to 8% without you knowing it. And you know what? They're in the business to make money, so you cannot be mad at them. Anyone that complains, that says the car dealership screwed me, they took advantage of me, to be honest with you, it's your own fault because you didn't do your research. You didn't go out there and search to see what's the best way to do this. There are so many different ways, especially these days. This is what I say all the time. You could contact someone like me, someone that you know, someone that you can trust, and talk to them, and go to a broker. This is something I do. You could come to me, and me and my people will help you get your car, because we know about every single deal out there. We know about every trick the dealership will use. So keep that in mind. People complain, oh, I went to a dealership, they gave me 8%, 9%. My credit is so good. Yes, because you were okay to pay those payments, and they're out there to make money. Anything you buy, people are making money off you. So you can't be mad at those people trying to make money. So again, if you don't want dealerships to take advantage of you, do the job yourself, or come to someone like me and people that work with me, or another auto broker, wherever you live, whoever you can trust. I'm not saying just come to me. Anywhere you can trust, go to them and let them help you out. Pay a small fee, but save yourself thousands. And I mean it, thousands. Now, if you do end up buying a used car and you end up paying too much, in your opinion, on the interest rate, there are ways to get out of it, which is for another probably episode, or we can talk about and go deep into the financing options. But there are ways you could refinance the loan. There are ways to go around it. So it's not the end of the world. If you have any questions, send a direct message to me, send me an email, or write it in the comment section, and I'm here to help out. So I'll do my best to direct you the right way. Okay. And by the way, if you guys like this video, if you guys like this podcast and you think it's valuable and you're getting some information that will benefit you, please like and subscribe, and maybe share with other people. I like to thank you in advance. And also, when you like and share and subscribe, it helps my channel a lot. Appreciate that. So going back to talking about the financing versus leasing, I think if you're going with a new car, you should always lease. Do not purchase a car and finance the car unless it's one-of-a-kind car, unless it's something, the deal is so good. Let's say they're giving you $25,000 discount, they're giving you 0% interest rate for 72 months, and they're shining your shoes, and they're giving you a free car wash and gas every month. In that case, maybe it's worth it. But other than that, at least 99.9% of the time is the right way to go. Now, the question now comes is, can you lease? You have to look at your credit. If you don't have good credit, leasing is out of the door. You have to have good credit for the lease to make sense, to be able to lease a car. So if you don't have good credit, it's not in your options. You have to go with a purchase. I say this one more time. If you have to get a pre-owned car, get a certified pre-owned car. Do not go and buy a used car. A certified car is the way to go. And also know this. This is something a lot of people miss. Unfortunately, there's a lot of misinformation out there, or I should say, a lot of times people are misinformed by some of the people that work at these car dealerships. If you go to purchase a BMW, and this is an example I'm about to give you. If you go to purchase a BMW at a Cadillac dealership and they tell you, yes, this car is certified, do not believe that. I like to end this podcast with a very important message. This is something I see it happens a lot, and it's not fair. It's not right. And if you're listening or watching this podcast, please pay attention. If you're going to purchase a pre-owned car and they tell you the car is certified, let me give you a scenario. Let's say you're going to buy a BMW, but the BMW is being sold by a Cadillac dealership. And the Cadillac dealership tell you, yes, this BMW is certified. Do not believe that. A Cadillac dealership cannot certify a BMW, Mercedes, any other car that is not under the umbrella of the brands they sell. So if they sell Cadillac, Buick, GMC, Chevrolet, any of these cars, if they're certified by them, fine. But they cannot do a BMW. If a Mercedes dealership tells you this BMW is certified, do not believe that. If a BMW dealership tells you this Mercedes-Benz is certified, do not believe that. This is a very important thing for you guys to know. do not trust everything you hear out there. This is very important. Do not get yourself in trouble later on. I'm going to finish this podcast by telling you guys and summarize this one more time. If you're going to get a new car, lease, in my opinion, is the number one choice. If you have to go get a pre-owned car, a certified pre-owned car is the number one choice. If you cannot get it, you go with a pre-owned car. You have that car inspected by a certified technician, and then you purchase that car if it passes the inspection, and you will get extended warranty. In a lot of cases, you can, if you had the car inspected by the manufacturer of that brand. Let's say if it was like a Honda, inspected by a Honda dealership, BMW by a BMW dealership, then you can purchase extended warranty through them. Keep that in mind. This is something a lot of people don't know. And if you ever get a loan that you're not happy with, you can always get out of it. In a lot of different cases, contact me and I will help you guys. So if you guys need any help, there was a scenario that you want me to talk about, if something I didn't cover in this video, if you agree or disagree with anything I said, please write in a comment, send me a message. I would love to hear from you guys, and I will see you guys till the next one. Take care, guys.